to our show E4G Talks, an ICT initiative which promises to get inspiring stories and brilliant speakers on board each episode. I'm Shavinder Kaur, the brand head of this show, and we are currently showcasing the spirit of womanhood of our Choose to Challenge series. Today on our show, we have another interesting speaker, an ex-naval officer, Lieutenant Commander M. Preeta. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I am Lieutenant Commander Preeta, as introduced, and I am ex-SSC officer, Short Service Commissioned Officer of the 1999 batch from Indian Navy.
Great. And currently, she is a security manager at IDBI Bank. And let me also introduce and brief more about our speaker to the viewers. She joined Indian Navy in 1999 with dreams of working in radars and electronic warfare. Navy gave opportunities to know her strengths, capabilities, and limits. From tip of the peninsula gave her opportunity to travel to many parts of country. A 7 initial tenure in Navy, tried HR, admin, animation as destined, presently, as I mentioned earlier, as security manager at the IDBI Bank. Got opportunity to rappelling, rock climbing, jumping, and even attended trials for Mount Everest expedition. Well, that is so adventurous, I must say. And also became a cross-country runner, later marathoner, enjoyed academy days, and she fondly remembers the ragada and training. Well, I feel this all to be very at-home feeling. That's really nice. She is also a voracious reader, believes that learning through films, drama, stories, the children characters can be shaped. She also feels due to technology, nuclear families, no time for the parents to spend with the children, and mobile addiction is really creating that kind of nuisance in our life. So, without wasting any further time, let's start our discussion. I read a lot about you in the bio, your concern for the environment. So, my first obvious question is humans are worst species destroying their own space, disturbing ecosystem. So, what's your take on that?
Okay. I think from the Stone Age to the Iron Age, and then as the technology advanced, we have come a long way. And due to the technology advancement, that is again because of the only the humans have efforts that has happened. And this technology advancement, though it's a boon to us, it has created a lot of disturbances of the ecosystem, thereby troubling the life of not only humans as well as the animals. And animals are the most disturbed. One is another thing is our greediness. The greediness of the humans for luxury, for comfort, and more for the generations to come. Also, we keep saving, and all these greediness has led to the deterioration of the. So when I have to start, then I'll say the from the technology advancement, we for our comfort, we in one way we deteriorate the ecosystem, heating the ozone layer. We go for number of vehicles more than one needed for each family also, and number of houses, etc. And it's the greediness of the human beings, and to earn more, and we are not going to take it anywhere. So, but we earn more than what we require, what our generation requires in some cases, and that's has led to the deterioration of the ecosystem. The gap between poverty, poor people, and the richness is very. It is continually increasing. That it has led to crimes and again imbalance of the ecosystem. So these are one of the few things which we say. And again, when from Stone Age we started to Metal Age, then we came advancing for our comfort and for space constraint. Considering all these things, we invented plastic. Plastic, which is a non-degradable thing, and that is what is disturbing or destroying the entire planet. and that again we are dumping those non-degradable things into the sea, into the land, into the air, everywhere, and we are polluting the entire planet, thereby affecting the life of the animals. We should understand if it is a life cycle which is created from small creatures of the living beings, then the animals, the life cycle, like each one feeds on the other thing. So if there is a disturbance in the natural ecosystem of the living beings, then there is going to be total disturbance of the ecosystem, which lead to all the natural disasters, man-made disasters on site, and the diseases and pandemics, etc. All these are based on again the ecosystem. So again we can say the present COVID, if we consider, that is again the result of man-made disaster which we have created because of our greed and greed. It's of course our greed only, I should say. So that's how the I said ecosystem is affected by us. Instead of we going for reducing the effects on the ecosystem, we are inventing more and more technologies to comfort ourselves, to contradict or to fight against the issues we are facing from the ecosystem degradation. We are like going for more fuels, more fossil fuels, disturbing the entire earth core, etc., and all these things. And for communicate, traveling from different parts to parts of the country to another part of the country, we are disturbing the again ecosystem by destroying forests, the hills, everything, and we are making all convenience for us and disturbing actually the natural habitat of the animals also. Where will they go? That's the reason we see in Assam floods, most of the animals are affected, and every year there is an issue. Same way this time we have seen it in Himachal Pradesh and rest of the parts of the Mumbai and everywhere where we have got to see the damages, floods and damages, landslides, huge landslides. So these are the effects of ecosystem. That's how I feel.
Exactly, very nicely you have explained your concern for ecosystem. Interestingly, I was just reading one a cute WhatsApp message wherein the mermaid was asked, "Who are you?" So she said, "I'm one third human being, one third fish, and one third plastic." So
Wow.
it's actually a story of, and we are the most selfish creature on face of earth. And I don't know. I wonder what will be our, future that we are going to install for our next generation.
Yes.
That's incredible. Your concern for that, and I feel as citizens, if we all are mindful about, the wastage, we will do our bit in, if not, totally eradicate it, but at least minimize the use of that.
Use of it, exactly.
Yes,
We saw
yes,
it in, during our COVID times itself, because during the lockdown period, how the ecosystem restored itself to certain extent, or it's a greater extent to in few days only. So if there is a great chances that if we are going to reduce our technological advancements side effects, then probably there will be lot of improvement in the ecosystem, and there will be
absolutely.
less pollution, etc.
Great. Yes, so Commander Preeta, that's a, wonderful thing that you shared. I also read that, interestingly, you are very fond of shaping of children's character building and your concern for parents to spend that time. So, today's life is full of technology and gadgets. So, what is the effect of technology advancement and the nuclear families?
Right. This is again one subject which is very close to my heart, because I feel, and even with my colleagues and when I speak to my relatives or I see around, this is very much, very clearly and very obviously seen that there is always the grandparents or like the elder generation who is staying in alone in their older age without support, suffering, and then children another side, they are clueless, they are addicted to mobiles. Of course we are also addicted to mobiles, and they are also addicted to mobiles, and they have not much out leeway or outgo of their emotions and stresses. that is one thing which has always bothered my mind. And why I say this, the technology advancement and thing is, like when we were kids, there was not much technological advancements, and like we used to have lot of playtime, and we used to go to the theaters or performances by great artists or like dancers maybe, or maybe theaters, dramas, which instill again some values, ethics, and it builds our character. So those things are absent now because the theaters and from the theaters, like even in pre-independence or during the independence struggle, these theaters dramas were the ones which had been used as the media for bringing together people to fight against the British, or maybe to instill patriotism in everybody's mind. There was a lot of movement in the Quit India movement or the freedom struggle which was happening, which energized and moved through this theaters and dramas and common meetings, gatherings of people, which is absent nowadays because the again the technology advancement. We don't have to go to the theaters or anywhere to receive these things. Now we can sit in our rooms. So we are confined among ourselves within the four walls. So I feel, and that's again the technology advancement which has come to the nuclear families also creation. I feel because as the system, as the population has increased, as the technology has advanced, there are a lot of opportunities outside the area where we live. We move to cities, other countries, other parts of the country, wherever the boom is there, technological boom is there. So what has happened is we are leaving behind our relatives, our family, everybody, and we are traveling alone to some area. There we tend to live within just the father, mother, and the kids. That's the nuclear family. So that's how the nuclear family started, because the elder generation, they get to do nothing, living in the cities, living in the cities, do nothing. So they are bored. So they go back to their city, villages or towns, or they may find that they are aloof. They again under stress in cities. So they don't want to move out of their native places. So they have to be left behind, and then we have to move out of the place for our job, for our education, etc. And so again, that has led to the nuclear family. And this, how it has affected is the children. Children are left alone. What we were brought up as with all the relatives, bringing up, growing up together with relatives, grandparents, listening to their stories. They have that is all part of the life which grows us. So that is missing because of the technology advancement and the nuclear is, we had to come. And most of us again, we are working. The work time is also not like 8 hours morning to this. We spend a lot of time in office that we get less time to spend with the children. So what we do, we give them whatever they need, mobiles or TVs, which they get addicted. And because of the connectivity, internet facility available, so they get it anything and everything at their doorstep. So they also don't get out of the house or anything to go for mingle with friends, play with friends, etc. This is what I feel.
So true. It's indeed, not only affecting their psyche, but their physical strength. They're so addicted to the Netflix, and everything is at a click away for them. So
Right.
there's so much of data and they're exposed to so many things. So
Exactly.
it is really difficult for parenting now. It's a difficult
Nowadays.
parenting altogether. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so obviously, of course, my next question is we are responsible for the deterioration of character for reasons like no sufficient time, which you've already mentioned, and insufficient control and character grooming. So I'm sure you have more to say on this.
This I have this I believe this character building is generally happening in the childhood days, and this I have understood or realized from my growth as a child. As coming from the older generation, I can say to some extent to the present generation, there were a lot of there were differences. We didn't have mobiles, we didn't have the technology at hand. So what we did was we depended mostly on the society, the people around us. for our growing character as well as our personality depended on the environment and the society around us, and of course the family. So what we mostly, I'll tell you, from the even in the ages before independence or independence, the strength building or for fight for independence, everything was based on through theaters, dramas, through which patriotism or bringing together people, everything was through that media. That was the only media available at that point of time. So even these dramas and theaters got changed to the film industry, cinemas. There also there was valuable cinemas which instilled good characters, which was good values, ethics in children or as they grow up. So I felt nowadays that is slightly changing, and it is not. Of course, there is a epic change of the culture, everything from that age to this age. But then still the values shouldn't be left out, I feel, because that values is the one who builds a person and that character is what is going to help the society flourish later or flourish anytime. So theaters and dramas, since there is a degradation in character in the cinemas, and there is hardly we can see any dramas or theaters where you really get to see in reality, in person, the energy from one person to another, the transfer of energy, of values and ethics. That is not there nowadays. And since the mobile is the addiction, and we are glued, not only children, we are also glued to the mobiles. So we neglect the growth of the children also as parents or as grand and nuclear families. Mentioned, it's actually again I won't say it is actually part of the growth of the society, because people they have got educated a lot, they have to move out of their native places to our cities, mostly cities and other things that the older generation people, they are not getting accustomed to, or they feel left out in the cities, and they can travel everywhere and leave just their comfort and their luxury. Not you can't even say luxury, their relationships and everything, because that's where in their native places where they have grown up and where they have spent most of their lifetime, they will be very comfortable in those places, not in cities confined within walls. So that has led to nuclear families, most of the cases. So nuclear families, what one thing is in older days, like after school we come, play, study, then before going to sleep, we get to hear stories, or even during daytime, and now for when there is a relaxation time, evening or sometime, we get to know stories, listen to stories from grandparents or even parents about valor, about ethics, about our older kings, or maybe even leaders, any leader for the matter, who are of character and everything. So that inspires and gives us an inspiration. So that's how our character gets built. When we get inspired, we feel that okay, we have to be such leaders, kind of leaders. I remember there were songs. Mostly, this, songs also instilled inspirations and courage and everything in this. So that was again the character building, I feel. So those things are missing in these times because we are mostly glued to the mobile with games or movies, which are not giving actual instillment of the ethics and values. So that's how I felt there is a vast difference in the as the culture and as the technology is advancing. So character building is getting affected in a way slightly, and this character building is affecting the society as the grown-ups. I don't say all are corrupt or all are affected, but there are in most of the places it happens that children are not brought in the right way, and that has led to many crimes. So that's how I feel.
Yes,
Not
yes. my next question was definitely on this only. So I'm in totally in agreement with you, because our children are definitely missing the stories told by the grandparents, and the addiction to the technology has led to deterioration of the lifestyle, and of course, morals and ethics. And thanks to this Netflix and all, and there's so much of, I think data or things which are not required for the generation. But at the same time, I would feel, uh, uh, since we have to adapt with the current scenario, best out of it, and it's the requirement, as correctly told by, it's the requirement of parent to take out that much of time and spend with the children and talk about valor and other stuff that makes them understand that these are also the elements which are required. Very nicely explained, thank you so much. Now, as mentioned, I have been an educator, and I worked with children from the formative years. Definitely how you're brought up, it brings into your psyche also.
Right.
So when the children grow up, they end up their life into many such situations. They are not able to handle their emotion wisely, not able to take a decision. So
Right.
yeah, and I also read that your concern about suicides, which is one another effect of weak mind, not shaped, and
Yeah.
supported of being strong. So what do you say, have to say about people taking extreme steps?
Right. That is again one thing I said. Because the children are left aloof, they feel, and we provide to compensate what our absence. We give them whatever possible by us, all the facilities or everything. So as soon as they ask, the things are in their hands. So they are not used to the failures or saying no, not getting a no from anybody. So as they grow, when they have to face the real situations, real life situations where they they are meeting with failures, or they are getting a no from anybody. Even for a small no, they go on suicide, or for a small lag in any progress in the career or in the life, relationships, anything, they go take a extreme step, which I feel that is again because the strength when we were kids, there was the entire community or the entire society relationships. We were mingling with so many people. We travel to relatives' houses. Lot of things were there, so we knew there are so many people to support us, and we were facing no quite many times from our parents, from our relatives, grandparents, anybody and everywhere, even in school. And I will say one more thing. In schools also they played a very crucial role in that education of the children. We used to have a lot of dramas written by the kids, and we have to enact it in the class for one session of the class, not the entire day, probably one session. So there also we were getting more ideas how and it is presented in front of the class, so we get more strength, more confidence, and in presenting, in facing people, so many things like that. So schools also played, and this time, of course, in schools nowadays also these things are available. I don't say it's not available, but the point, the character, or the values that were brought, the themes which are brought, is slightly different from which was there at that time. And since again in mobile, it's all related to, of course, we have to adapt to the technology advancement and everything. But we shouldn't leave back this or the basic values which a human being is made of, because that's going to go till the end of the life or till the end of the world. Without which we cannot survive in the. These all are materialistic things. Along with the materialistic things, of course, the values and ethics are the ones which are going to make us prosper in the country or in the society. So I think that's what when suicide comes. But this also triggered. This was also triggered from my childhood days when I saw one incident. Like one of my neighbors, we call her sister. She was elder. She got married, and then finally we saw one day the person, her husband, suicided. That's because he was very strong person, very good job, everything, but So it left me thinking, what is the reason with so much, so good habits, so good person, character, good job, everything is their parents' life, family, everything is still they take an extreme step. That was because again some issues in the relationship. So, and from there, each time that was for childhood which triggered probably, but then later when I see many other incidents or hear from newspapers or read something, then I think what are the reasons, and then when I analyze or when thought about it, I found out this is one reason. When you say small nowadays, the children when they say class, no, you can't take that. They go to the text instead. You can't do that. It is you want something, you can't. You are not getting it. Then you take it. This is really this. So that's what the character, the strength we get from the society, from the people around us, that gives us a lot of confidence, strength. Okay, even if I fail, there are people to support me, and or they'll not push me down, they'll not let me down, they'll support me in not maybe financially or something else, but of course there is a moral support to me that I can come up again, I can fight over the things again. So as Rudyard Kipling said, whatever, however you, how many times you fall, success is not that because you fall. It is only where how you rise up again from that is what is success. It's not always getting things. And life is as it is a sine wave. Ups and downs are there always. So if we are not strong enough, then probably it will be an issue to cope up with the life.
Very aptly mentioned. I always tell my students or in the counseling sessions, it's okay not to be okay,
Yeah,
accept it.
right.
Accept it. And that will only happen when you are in the company, when you're talking to people. You should talk it out to your friends.
Right.
Very nicely put up across for our viewers. Uh, this leads to another topic that people, we should accept people without any prejudices. So
Prejudice.
that's what. So, what do you have to say on that then?
Yeah, that's again the same thing. It starts from this when people are not accept, because as you said, you said, it's okay to be not okay. That is very right. All are not same. There are each one is unique. So each one is unique in a different way. So we have to accept them as what they are. There are different there are people, children who are abandoned because they are not either he or she, and it's when the small children are abandoned in this at that age, where do they land up? They may land up in a crime, or they might get end that might be the end of their life, or they may end up getting abused a lot. So there are so many things. That's only a small thing, that because we couldn't accept the people as what they are. And not only in this gender sensitization, even as any person, we all parents try to push our children towards everybody should be an engineer, doctor, or a IAS person or something. So that only that's all. Those are not the only things available. There can be what basic thing should be is a person has to be a normal human being who can live and let others live. That itself makes a lot of difference in the society. So we have to accept that upbringing should again come from as the childhood growth only. When you try to accept things as they are from everywhere, then I don't think there will be any issues in accepting anybody in your workspace or in a relationship anywhere. So that is one thing I feel that is very important. That can come only from the upbringing. Here our outlook has to change, how we look at each person, and the sensitization should be there from the childhood. There shouldn't be a difference. Okay, all are equals. That should be the criteria what that has to be taught, and that has to be imbibed and instilled in the childhood itself. So that education system, again the school plays a major part, and even in the family. Actually the education starts from the family, we say. So actually it has to start from there. And of course, the school plays another important role, because there is where we get to meet different classes of people, different religions, different strata of people, and different kinds of people. That's so. I think that also plays an important role in knowing all this. So that's why I
Yes.
feel always character childhood is very important, and that has to be played by the people around. First, when we change our attitudes, our outlook, that's when the children or the next generations can live happily. I think that's it.
Great. Thank you so much, Kamana Preeta. These were lovely parenting tips that you have given. And I personally feel, and also the new NEP says, more than subjects, we should teach them how to, the life skills,
Life
how
skills.
to handle your emotion intelligently and, do the problem solving, decision making. These are something which should be instilled from the beginning of their formative year itself. And so that children are future ready, they're ready to face the environment, they're ready, they can be exposed to the rough environment where which has been thrown upon them. So that's really nice. We've almost come to the end of the show, but before that, before I wrap up, I want to ask few tips for our listeners. You already shared a lot of tips for parenting. So what are your for the viewers, what would you like to say more?
Okay. I'm not a very great person to give tips, but what I have understood and I feel I follow in my life is one is ethics. So ethics one has to build a strong character, and that comes from the habits which we are following. So once the character is built, then I don't think it can be shaken up in any point of time. We'll be helping everybody to live their life independently or dependently, supporting everybody, and even our lives can be very peaceful and good. And one another thing is character. Like as I said, we have to accept everybody, because we have now we go outside to different places, to different areas, and get to work, meet people of different strata, different sensitization, like gender, whatever. So if we are not able to treat everybody as equal and give them their human space, then I think it will be a horrible workplace to work or live. So I think that has to be there. And always have to see that never lose your confidence, have lot of friends, smile happily, live happily, so that you can always face any situation that comes. And that there should be support, and parents also should be supportive. Like if we have to first lead them in the right direction, and once they are in the right direction, right path, I think we should support them for them to take any step ahead in their lives. I think that should be the way we have to lead, and we have to live. I think that's what.
Great. Those are the some lovely mantras, ethics, character building, staying happy, and parents being supportive. Thank you so much, Commander Preeta, and for being part of this interesting Women's Special Series, Choose to Challenge. I am so glad that I could host you for this Value Edition show. Thank you once again.
Thanks a lot for hosting me and giving me an opportunity to know so many things are happening in this, like E4G. You're empowering so many people, like women empowerment, and in the even in the digital walks of life, so many things you are taking care into. That is, you are the brand ambassador of E4G Talks, and I get to see so many people's their life experiences, and each one is a valid thing. That's what I said. Yeah, now as the technology advances, probably we have to different means of adapt knowledge gaining like occasions. Like these are one of those. When we come to hear from such people, like you had the first talk show you had, the army officer, his experiences, how he built his strength, and from how he and how he was speaking, it was really great. So it is to know such people itself through your E4G talks is really amazing. And thanks for such opportunities given to so many people and making us know about so many things. That's a wonderful thing you are doing.
I'm truly honored that you are keeping you're viewing our episodes. That's We are really humbled, and we are feeling great that we are doing something good for the society, and
Of
it's all
course.
because of brilliant speakers like you. We get on board,
Thank
and.
you.
Thank you so much. I wish you all the best for your future endeavors, and thank you so much. If you wish to share your inspiring stories, please contact me at shavi@e4gtalks.com. I thank all the viewers and please like, share, and subscribe to our channel E4G Talks. And don't forget to mention your views on the current interview. For more interesting stories, please stay tuned. Till then, stay home, stay safe. Jai Hind. Thank you.
Jai Hind.
E4G Talks is brought to you by ISECI, Indian Ex-Defence Service Employees Chamber of Commerce and Industries. Thanks to its vast veteran network and global and pan-India associates, ISECI can carry out various commerce facilitations and CSR projects across India and the world. Some of ISECI's core capability areas are Skill India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, Digital India, any ex-serviceman welfare or job program, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan related projects, telemedicine and healthcare training and job scheme, Save Water scheme, defence industry SME, MSME cluster and hub development, maritime training and inland water training with job facilitation, Canada study, job and permanent residency opportunity, e-commerce, Andaman and Nicobar commerce opportunities. ISECI's global reach includes countries like Indonesia, Slovakia, Canada, Nepal, Singapore, Rwanda, USA, UK. Above all, it is ISECI's effort to create a veterans brand made by the veterans, for the veterans and made up of the veterans. Every Indian's support is invaluable in this journey. ISECI is a registered society for ex-servicemen's welfare and envisions that every veteran should be a part of India's economic growth story. It is the aim of ISECI to create an enabling commerce platform that will empower and synergize the veterans' talent pool. This is possible only with the support of entrepreneurs, businesses and consultants from civil society. All proceeds, if any, are utilized for the welfare of ex-servicemen and for public charity.